When I got my first big promotion at work, I was overwhelmed and burned out. Of course, this change was exciting, but it requires a lot of mental strength and agility to keep up. Even as an expert psychologist, I had to relearn many of my skills to adapt this new lifestyle and optimize my workflows for maximum impact that expected from me at that period. I'm Marina Morgan, an entrepreneur and the founder of the boutique organizational psychology agency in Silicon Valley, the Morgan Impact. Here in this channel, we discuss the most relevant knowledge and practices that help me and my client build resilience and grow their businesses even in the most challenging and unpredictable times. In today's episode, we'll talk about ways you can improve your resilience, adapt to rapidly changing circumstances, learn new skill, and in general, boost your brain function. All of this is based on the concept of your brain's neuroplasticity, or the ability to adapt and grow. A link to the video about neuroplasticity and its functions is pinned to the description below. Before we discussed ways to improve neuroplasticity, let's take a moment to understand how it's formed. We learn and integrate new experience when they sleep. Yes, you heard me absolutely right. We are learning when we sleep. Our brain collects new information during the day and then integrates it when we sleep. Let's say you had a busy day with multiple new concepts learned, and you may not consciously pay attention to retaining them while you're awake. When you go to sleep, however, your brain continues processing all this new information and decide how it can store it, integrate in the background. There is no difference what this information about your meal or business metrics or what the news in the media, the brain records everything. When you sleep, a new synaptic connection is forming. The commonly known 7 or 8 hours sleep is really long enough for information you learn during the day to be well integrated and physically written in the brain. Yes, you're right. Information and experience that you got through the day should be physically integrated in the brain. Now, let's look at this illustration of sleep cycles. Quality sleep happens when we go through several sleep phases a night. It is a transition from REM to deep sleep and then to REM again, and several times these cycles per night. During the REM phase, our brain processes the details of each experience from the prior day. Then, during the deep sleep, it works with larger information structures. Imagine yourself creating the sculpture, and during the deep sleep phase, you discard large pieces of clay that are not necessary. And during the REM phase, you polish the details. As these phases cycle throughout the night, our brain creates the most elegant sculpture of new experience integrated in your background. This is an excellent book, one of my favorite ones, Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. Check it out to learn more about the sleep, and here you can find a lot of interesting research about how the sleep influences for our casual life, our activity, our health, etc., etc. By the way, do you look into sleep phases before? Comment below if you are in the sleep tracking club, as I. There is a variety of sleep studies conducted to date, but this information that I found in this book is useful to anyone who going for changes, or even for people who don't. You can find really a lot of important things here. Change that you can go through can be anything. Let's say you're open to your own business, switch jobs, you're moving to a new location. We know that the brain is a physical organ that needs time to rest and recover, so it's really important to give it enough time to do his job of neuroplasticity process and get some rest during the sleep. So, we've memorized it. We adapt and learn while we sleep. And our brain is a physical organ. It is important to remember this to better understand the following recommendation that we prepared to you. And now it is time to pivot to some practical tips. Comment below on which of the tips in this video was your favorite one. So you will not surprised that my first tip will be get sufficient sleep. Give yourself a break. In addition to recommend 7 or 8 hours of sleep every night, understand that they respect natural changes in the sleep patterns. Because we adapt to change and form additional neuron connection during sleep, it's critical for a healthy brain and more agility. Use of sleep tracking devices that improve great insights into the quality of your sleep. Cultivating the quality of your sleep should be your priority, specifically if you are an entrepreneur and there is a huge stress and in your environment and you're taking a big responsibility for different things. This is very important for you to hold your sleep. There is no other way to learning, adaptation, resilience, and prospering. Yes, I understand it sounds boring. I absolutely understand it. Sometimes, and so do I, you can feel that there is not enough hours in the day and it seems a pity to waste them to sleep. But there is unfortunately, no way to circumvent this priority in your life. So I suppose that my next advice will not surprise you as well, because it sounds like learn and repeat. Practicing your task repeatedly to make it automatic, so you don't have to think about each step. You already know that to learn a new activity, our brain must physically grow new synaptic connection. This process takes time and initially your psyche may resist it. However, with each repetition, this synaptic connection becomes stronger, making the action progressively easier. Be patient with yourself. You will not be able to accelerate your learning by resenting the fact that a new skill is not easy for you. On the contrary, rewarding yourself for new activities and small success in each step will motivate your brain to get more involved. And I suppose that you understand why. The next one sounds like fuel your body. Realize that your body needs to help you maintain a state of readiness for learning and become more adaptable for future challenges. To build something new, we need a source for that. In my one-to-one work with entrepreneurs, I always start by gathering information about physiology. Before making major changes in your life, it is advisable to establish healthy body functions. So, if my clients suffer from insomnia, initiative to their health, or don't pay attention to whether their body and brain are getting enough nutrients, I will probably suggest that they start by systematizing their life in this area. And only then can we move to more complex processes and changes. Remember, when your brains and bodies are healthy, we naturally make healthy decisions, gain perspective, and see the world in a positive way. This is happen automatically. If we don't get enough sleep, fresh air, or eat well for extended period, our body interprets this as being in an unsafe environment. It shifts focus to survival, putting development and growth on the back burner. Your body doesn't realize that you are just busy with a marketing campaign and not in any immediate danger in real. Think in this way. Is a zebra fleeing from a lion concerned with creating new mating dances? Of course not. Similarly, your body can prioritize growth when it is in survival mode. So, you should take care about your health. And it's unavoidable. Next advice. This thing, I suppose, can surprise you because my advice sound like dance. Movement is vital for maintaining a healthy brain. Yes, you're absolutely right. Movement is maintaining a healthy brain. When we engage in physical activity, our brain's motor cortex activates, positively influencing other areas responsible for thinking and memory. It is interesting that our muscles produce hormone-like molecules called myokines during movement. These myokines significantly enhance our brain's learning and memory functions. Among the best activities for cognitive development, the top 3 are dancing, because there is a complex and new movement and this is practically beneficial. Competitive low-contact sports like tennis or something like that, or hiking on a rugged terrain. So it's great to go to the nature and walk for a long time. By incorporating these activities into our routine, we not only keep our bodies fit, but also ensure our brain stays sharp and resilient against aging. The next one, and this is one of my favorite as well, practice meditation. Practice meditation to help manage stress and maintain a calm and focused mind. It is a powerful focus management practice that extends beyond your yoga mat. This quality becomes extremely useful in office when you are developing a new strategy or working on some complicated process, allowing you to maintain concentration and clarity in high-pressure situation. It's become your skills, not only in yoga mat, as I told. Next one, and will be adult conversation between you and me. Manage your cravings. Okay, I don't want to be, like this boring person that will say, stop drink coffee or alcohol or something like that. You can just limit substances that are able to disrupt sleep and cognitive function. As we remember, sleeping process is the most important things. So caffeine, alcohol, simple carbs, and others can be good in small amounts. There, it's important to understand the cause and effect. It is important to know yourself well enough to understand what will work well for you and what can be improved. Some stimulations like caffeine can actually disrupt sleep patterns and minimize the effectiveness of the break. So, if you learned something new, got new experience, and drank a lot of coffee and didn't sleep enough, all this new experience will not integrate you. One note on alcohol. Again, we're all adults, and here, of course, it's only your decision what to do with this. In general, if you plan a night out with alcohol, try to limit drinking maybe one time per 3 or 4 weeks and enjoy the social aspect of it. Plan it. Choose the place where you will do it. What will you eat? With whom will you do it? And that will be a great pleasure, and also you will not ruin your sleep phases because alcohol strongly influences for it. Before we get the last new tips, don't forget to share with your network. These tips could really help something going for the big changes and useful for another purposes. Let's continue. Track your health metrics. And I'm not speaking here only about the watches that you can use for measure your step or sleep. Of course, track your sleep patterns. We talked about it already. And other health metrics. It will help with collecting data over time to make calculated decisions. For example, if you understand that you don't feel well right now, don't create the strategy at that period. Our brain constantly monitors and gathers information about the state of our organs, sending signals when something isn't right for our brain. However, we don't always pay attention to these signals. For instance, if you find yourself craving desserts, it might indicate that your body is lacking certain nutrients, and it's trying to compensate it in this way. Unresolved health issues, whether you are aware of them or not, can create underlying anxiety. And this anxiety could cloud your decision-making and diminish your drive for growth and development. When I had a big promotion at work about that I spoke in the beginning of this video, I knew a little about physiology, and the whole process was very, very stressful. Of course, the work environment was full of challenges, but I knew something else was off. Then I did the test for vitamin D. I learned that my levels were much lower than acceptable. That's influenced for me more than anything in my life at that period. Recognizing that event helped me to create a better work environment, take care of myself, and become more productive. That was very, very important. You know it. And the last one for today, tip number 8, keep the emotional balance positive. All of us love positive balance, right? Specifically in our accounts. Our brain gives us daily reports on how we're doing, but unlike our usual meetings, this report is about how we felt during the day and based on our internal chemical state. If the balance is negative for a long time, it can lead to serious health issues, including depression or various diseases. It's not just about how challenging your day was. It's more about how you perceive and process everything that's happening to you. Maintaining a positive emotional balance is key to staying healthy and resilient. If you had a stressful day, it's important to reduce stress-related chemicals in the blood and calm the nervous system. Consider taking a walk before bed while drinking water and enjoy a bath with the Epsom salts if it's okay to your house and your doctor allow it. Achieving a calm and peaceful state before going to bed can improve sleep quality, helping you return your task the next day feeling refreshed. Conclusion for today. 8 tips to increase your neuroplasticity and help you to be very, very productive during different challenging times. Understand and respect natural changes in sleep patterns so your brain can adapt by getting enough sleep. Practice a new task repeatedly to make it automatic. Realize that your body needs to help you maintain a state of readiness for learning and agility. Dance or integrate another physical activity in your routine. Practice meditation to help manage stress and maintain a calm and focused mind. Limit the consumption of substances that are able to disrupt sleep and cognitive functions. Track your sleep and other health metrics to collecting data to make calculated decisions, and keep your emotional balance positive. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found really useful tips for you. Try integrating these healthy living tips into your life and comment below which was your favorite one, or maybe which of these you're already practicing a lot. Also, you can share this video with your nearest and dearest or with your team, because it is easier to change your habits with the support from the people around you. Make sure to subscribe and sign up for notifications. We are monitoring all the comments, and it really helps us to be more useful for you. And this is really important for us. Thank you for your watching, and see you in the next video.